Hassan-Nahoum, Israel's Special Foreign Ministry Envoy, former Deputy Mayor of Jerusalem, and the host of The Quad on Jewish News Syndicate TV. Fleur, welcome. Good to have you with us. To begin with, Israel has not publicly commented yet on the U.S.'s proposed deal. What can you tell us about the nature of the negotiations and the likelihood of a deal being accepted?
Well, all I can say is that Hamas have already rejected 5 deals. There's a huge amount of pressure for Hamas to accept this last one. The problem here is not Israel. Israel will go along with almost anything to bring back those hostages, to bring them home. And at the moment, the main block is that Hamas have still not accepted that deal. So the UN can pass anything they want, but who's going to force Yahya Sinwar to accept this?
Right. So there have been indications or reports that Hamas has agreed to or supports the UN's resolution here. What do you think is in the way of the leadership fully taking it on?
The main thing in the way, I believe, is the fact that the agreement does not mention a permanent ceasefire. And I think that's what Hamas want, although the ceasefire is pretty long. And I want to remind everybody that on October 6th, we also had a ceasefire that, of course, Hamas broke on October 7th. And so I think that's probably where the block to the acceptance of Hamas is. But like I said, they've already rejected every single deal. They don't want to stop. They don't care about their own innocent people. For them, their people, as well as our hostages, are simply a defense strategy.
So Israel's UN representative on Monday had said that the country would continue its operation in Gaza. In your view, given Israel's stated wish to preserve life as much as possible, is there another way to end the war if what you're saying also about Hamas's stance on this negotiation is also true?
I'm not sure there's another way to end the war, to be honest. I guess the other way would be surrender by Hamas. But like I've said, if they don't care about their innocent people, then they have zero incentive to stop. They started with a massacre. They came into our country, a sovereign country. They killed, they robbed people, they took them there. These people are not people that believe in any type of peaceful resolution. They don't believe in a two-state solution. They believe in the elimination of the state of Israel. So how can you negotiate with people whose negotiating first standpoint is, we want to kill you, we don't want you here? It's a very, very, very difficult thing to do.
Now, international politics is, of course, coming into this. We've got Secretary Blinken now saying that this UN vote is a sign that Hamas would be isolated if it doesn't agree to the proposed deal. How much weight do you give to the Security Council's vote and to international pressure here?
I don't think Hamas care about being isolated. They've got some pretty big people behind them, like Iran and possibly Qatar, who are playing this double game here. They've got the worst people in the world, the most evil dictatorships, the most evil regimes in the world with them. I'm not sure that's much of a threat to Hamas, who are a terrorist organization, assigned, prescribed terrorist organization by the majority of normal thinking countries. I'm not sure that's much of a threat to them when they've got Iran, who have subsidized and armed them, when they've got Qatar, who've been hosting their leaders and preserving their billions of dollars that they've stolen from their own people and sending money here to Gaza. I'm not sure that's much of a threat for them.
Now, Hamas is saying that more than 270 Gaza civilians died in the recent Israeli operation to rescue hostages. While it's important to note that those numbers can't be verified, do you believe that Israel minimized the damage as much as possible there?
Israel always minimizes the damage. Everything we do is very precise and very, very targeted. The problem is, and I think everybody knows this now, that they hide themselves. The terrorists hide themselves amongst the civilians. They hide weapons, munitions amongst the civilians. And also, you know, the most ludicrous thing I've heard is that the people that were holding the hostages are innocent bystanders. Nobody who's holding hostages and knows about it is an innocent bystander, is an innocent casualty. So we first of all dispute those numbers. All of their numbers are inflated and exaggerated. And secondly, it's very simple. You don't want us to rescue our hostages and there be collateral damages. Don't take hostages.
And next, looking at the political situation within Israel, Israeli politician Benny Gantz resigned on Sunday from the Israeli War Cabinet, and that's after he criticized the Prime Minister's strategy in Gaza. In your view, where does Israel stand politically, and could that impact its position or decisions going forward in this war?
Well, it's always better when you're facing a moment of national crisis to have a unity government. Israel has always been a government of coalitions. We have a different system to the United States. And so it's like a jigsaw puzzle that you have to put together in order to have a government and be able to rule. And during wartime, it's always much better when it's a wide coalition. It's regretful, I think, that Benny Gantz has left the government. It's always much better to have, like I said, a unity government. Not sure what impact this is going to have. And remember, like you said quite rightly, we have a deal at the moment on the table. And again, Benjamin Netanyahu continues to govern. His coalition is not dependent on Benny Gantz. He already has a majority, but it would be always much better to have a wider coalition.
All right. Thank you so much. Fleur Hassan-Nahoum, Israel's Special Foreign Ministry Envoy. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Coming up.